All right, so this is my second part of my Dani doll for my Hocus Pocus dollhouse. And if you have not watched the first part, then you need to go watch the first part before you see this one. I'm going to do a little update on my Dani, as y'all probably saw in the last video. Or if you didn't see the last video, you need to go check out my last video where I am making Dani. But I got to the scarf and I wasn't completely happy with this because I thought it was a little too big and bulky for this scale. And my friend was saying that I should use embroidery thread. And then I had a comment made under the other video, someone saying that embroidery thread may work better. So what I've decided to do is just completely redo her scarf. And I'm going to start with a skinny black ribbon. This is just a little satin ribbon. And I'm just going to cut that about as long as what I want it to be. And then I'm going to take some little pieces of embroidery thread. I've just snipped these in little pieces. And I'm just going to put a little bead of glue down that ribbon and then just lay these little pieces. Now, of course, I've done these in black and orange and yellow. So I'm just going to lay them down like I'm doing here. And then I'll get that much done. And then I'll show you the next step. All right, so here is the ribbon after I've got those pieces glued across there. And when I flip this over, you can sort of see more how it's going to look. And if you look at her scarf, it's a black scarf with this little fringe around the edge. Now, of course, I will clip all this off and shorten all this a little bit and make it more even, but I just, needed it long enough to work with. And before I do that, I'm going to sandwich that between, like I'm going to glue another piece down on this side just to make sure those are glued on really, really good. And so that's all I got to do now is just glue this down and then trim up the edges. And then that should be a much better scarf than the yarn, because the yarn is a little too fuzzy and fluffy for the scale. And I think this one is going to look a lot better. All right, so here is a little recap. This is the old one, and it's okay. There's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, if that's what you have to use, that will be good. But, since I am redoing it, I am just so thrilled with how this new one has turned out. I mean, as you can see, that is just so much better. I mean, if you know what her scarf looks like, then you know that this new one is just so much better. And I'm just really excited with how that looks once it's on. And I'll tweak it a little bit now that I've got it on here. But it just looks so much better and so much more like a scarf. So I'm just so excited with how it's turned out. And of course, now I'm going to have to redo my pictures, but that's okay. And then, of course, I'll get some more pictures of her, when I do the other characters.